Very well,
Good
thank you.
evening, good morning, good afternoon. Super excited to be here today.
Brilliant stuff. Just quickly before I hand the floor over to yourself, just a little bit of housekeeping. Welcome everyone to our final keynote session of the day, collaborating in the metaverse with Mesh for Teams. And if anyone has any questions, please do use the chat and we will answer those questions throughout the session, or we'll hold them to the end for Q&A. If anyone does want to ask questions at the end, there will be the opportunity as well to come off mute. If you raise your hand at the end, hopefully we will get you off mute and you should be able to ask your question. Without further ado, though, I'd like to hand over to you, Pouneh.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. Welcome to the first Metaverse One conference. This is going to be a tough act to follow with Caruana and all the amazing sessions that you've all had, but I'm thrilled to be here today at this first community event. And huge thanks to Chris and Vesa and the whole team here to putting this on. I think this is magnificent what we're doing and sharing, and certainly we need all of you to help engage with us on Mesh and the Metaverse to make it something amazing. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. Today, I'm going to share some information on the Metaverse evolution and how Microsoft Mesh comes into play. I'll tell you a little bit about how we collaborate in Microsoft Teams with Mesh, and finally share the opportunities that exist with Microsoft Mesh. I think Caruana did a good job. She had a great slide at the end. I'm just going to give a couple more links, but you know, as you all are waiting and we're waiting to get out to you, it's going to be an exciting time to see what we got in store for you. So let me talk a little bit about the metaverse. And we all know it's emerging and the next big thing as the technology platform. Sure, there's lots of hype around the metaverse, but there's also lots of substance, development, and exciting trends. We can't determine the scale, shape, and feeling of it yet, but we do believe it's going to be bigger than anything we've ever known. And that's why you start seeing so many folks in here today and, you know, in the news. So this next iteration of the internet is the metaverse. And it is enabled by a set of technologies that allows for real-time 3D persistent digital large-scale virtual worlds and environments that represent connected aspects of a real world, similar to, you know, people, places, things, and processes, right? Personally, I'm really excited about this evolution, especially in the world of remote and distributed work and life. I feel that this decade is going to be phenomenal of what's going to be built and how we're going to manifest our lives and identities through these virtual worlds that are going to be centralized and decentralized. The defining thing about the metaverse is the interconnectedness between computers, data, and content that people are creating to be available to everyone. And the metaverse is the continuation of it, and it's a way of overlaying spatial understanding of things inside the internet and what we're going to populate in it. Metaverse technologies aren't waiting for new user behaviors around wearables and media consumption to have relevant applications. They're meeting users where they are, and they're using hardware that already exists. Simply put, metaverse experiences are going to take place across a wide array of devices. While headset-enabled virtual reality is one way in, you've experienced it today with AltSpace VR. There's smartphones, there's tablet screens, and already we have a broad use and entry point to the metaverse experiences. And of course, you know about all the big gaming platforms and consoles too that have made an impact. But when we think about multiple technology trends that are converging to enable experiences in the metaverse, these trends have been developing and maturing on their own timetable for years. And the explosion of hybrid work has acted as the accelerant, throwing a fuel to the fire and demonstrating a highly acute need for computer paradigm that is immersive and straddles work and takes the place of in-person interaction when in-person interaction isn't possible. How many of you today, are back into the hybrid world and go into conference rooms and forget to look at the big conference screens today? How many people are still looking at their laptop screens and finding that, how do we engage and pull everyone else that's in the hybrid work environment into our environment without being exclusive, right? Now that we're all on different places. So when we think about this metaverse and these trends that are coming, it's evolving in these three big stages. Today, we have mixed reality and digital twins, which you've all seen. Tomorrow, we have shared immersive experiences infused with 3D content, real-time data, and this is what you've been hearing about Mesh for Teams, right? And most importantly, the future is really about these interoperable immersive worlds, right? And as exciting as this is and interesting as it is, we believe that this is the next platform. And it's not the next platform for tomorrow, but this is the next platform for a decade or more. And it's important for us to all stay grounded and help build this and take it during each stage, because it's going to take some time. This technology is why it is so exciting, and that's why we developed Microsoft Mesh. I believe that you saw, and maybe Caruana, you can let me know the Microsoft Mesh video. I don't know if someone can give me a yay or a nay, a hands up.
Pouneh,
Yes.
I only got about halfway through the video that Satya uses at the top level.
Okay.
For what is because I had some video issues, so maybe you can get through it all. That would be cool. It might be a different video as well.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not, because I know we're both,
yes,
sharing this exciting information that's coming. So thank you, Caruana. Let me just tell you about, Microsoft Mesh before I show you the video. We see this as a key element to unlock experiences in the metaverse. With Mesh, we are evolving immersive experiences from the frontline workers to broader audiences. Mesh will enable our enterprises, our developers, and creators to build immersive experiences to drive employee, customer, and fan engagement by creating thriving communities. Think about this community and what's happened and come together just with AltSpace VR. The next level will be Microsoft Mesh and how we can bring these communities together and share. So let me share a video about Microsoft Mesh, and we'll get through it and we'll go forward. Oh, oops, you know what?
there with audio.
Yep.
I did the same thing.
Oh gosh, it's one of these things. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Would it be nice when we finally just have it automatically sense that? I can't wait.
I know. What is this? Thank you. I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
Nope, not the only one.
Thank you for making me feel okay. Okay, let's see if this works.
Seek out others who feel the same way.
Can you guys hear it?
No, I can't hear it, Pouneh.
Okay. Why don't you
Oh, they can though, so that's all that matters.
Okay.
Hey Mari, what you got for me?
To find those who share our views, yet offer different perspectives.
Saw this net. Look over here.
Challenge us with new ways of seeing. Deepen our understanding. And enrich our lives.
最后一笔的时候往前
Great things happen when we commit to something bigger than ourselves.
Let's take a closer look at it.
Place this here. Let's see how we go from there, okay?
This sense of collaboration, and the feelings of connection it brings excites us.
Hey, just in time. I'm gonna move it slightly, okay?
It's yours, take it.
We have 2 planes right now on the same trajectory.
As we put people first, technology fades into the background and feels like anything but.
Aisha, what do you think?
I think if we head 330, maintain 2800, we'll be clear for approach.
Excellent.
This changes the way we see the world, and in turn, changes the world we see.
These numbers are looking great, actually.
There's promise in the possibilities, and what we see and create next will stretch the imagination.
Good morning, Sarah.
Morning.
Slowly coming towards the thumb.
A world without boundaries.
Good job. A lot better than yesterday.
Yeah.
Excellent. Slowly bring
A world where technology enhances, not limits, humanity. With people front, center, and in the spotlight. The future is here. And here can be anywhere. Introducing Microsoft Mesh.
Awesome. I hope that wasn't the first time you've seen that video, but if it was, you can now tell why I'm so passionate about Microsoft Mesh and how it's going to enable presence and shared experiences from anywhere. It's going to help us bring these digital intelligence to the real world. It enables immersive experiences and enhances connections with others across all devices. And you'll gain a deeper understanding as you create, consume, and collaborate on experiences together. You can connect with new depth, new dimension, engage, and I'm going to show you this. I'm super excited about this. Engage with eye contact, facial expressions, gestures. Your personality shines. And with avatars, it's going to help customize your virtual experience. And holoportation, it's going to provide the most lifelike, photorealistic expressions of yourself. And digital intelligence comes to the real world, right? You can see, share, collaborate in these persistent 3D environments. You're going to move through these worlds. You're going to get digital information when and where you need it. This type of fluidity accelerates decision-making and speeds problem solving. As hybrid work continues to be top of mind for many organizations and enterprises, leaders are looking for ways to sustain their unique culture and enable social connections. Mesh can help you make hybrid work engaging, collaborative, and fun. And you'll be able to enjoy the freedom to access Mesh on HoloLens 2, VR headsets, mobile phones, tablets, using any Mesh-enabled app. Data privacy and security are also top of mind for many of our customers, and this extends to the metaverse. Trust is core to every element of our business and our product portfolio. We're approaching experiences in the metaverse with the same set of principles: safety by design, security by design, safety for individuals, as well as security for organizations in terms of data that is gathered, how and where it's stored, who has access to this, along with enabling safe and secure experiences. We're committed to enabling these inclusive experiences where everyone feels like they belong. And lastly, our vision for Mesh Metaverse is to enable an open platform built for creators, where creators have access and choice. This is one of the big reasons I want to emphasize, a lot of people have been waiting for Mesh, and we're going to have announcements at Ignite that I'm really excited about. But safety and security is our number one concern. And, we want to make sure we get it right. So, we look forward to your feedback. But when we expand about safety and experience, and then think about these Microsoft Mesh use cases, we envision organizations enabling these experiences for both employees and customers. For employees, we look at immersive meetings to do product reviews, 3D content meetups, happy hours, large-scale gatherings, town halls, all hands. We have these watch parties. We've been doing watch parties, Ignite watch parties, and these immersive spaces will help, and we've seen that it does allow employees to connect and share these experiences even when they're not in the same place. And then think about how many organizations can also leverage mesh to use for their external audiences, such as customer or fans through virtual stores, events, conferences. Our ambition with mesh is broader, and it goes beyond work and learn. In the future, we expect organizations leveraging mesh to enable virtual tours and live events. You already see that with AltSpace VR. We're going to be taking that to the next level. And last year, Microsoft announced the mesh capabilities to Teams, coming to Teams. Satya, discussed this. I'm sure that Caruana played this, but I'm going to play it since she said there was, some problems with the video. But this way you can hear it all, and then I'll go into.
As the digital and physical worlds come together, we are creating an entirely new platform layer, which is the Metaverse. In a sense, the Metaverse enables us to embed computing into the real world and to embed the real world into computing, bringing real presence to any digital space. What's most important is that we are able to bring our humanity with us and choose how we want to experience this world and who we want to interact with. It's no longer just looking at a camera view of a factory floor. You can be on the floor. It's no longer just video conferencing with colleagues. You can be with them in the same room. Mesh for Microsoft Teams will allow you to connect with presence and have a shared immersive experience directly in Teams.
Awesome. So I can't wait for this year's announcement. I hope you're all going to have your own watch parties in AltSpace VR and wait for all the exciting things that we're going to talk about. But Mesh for Microsoft Teams, as you know, combines the mixed reality capabilities. It allows people in different physical locations to join collaborative and shared immersive experiences with productivity tools of Microsoft Teams. Mesh builds on existing Teams features, and it makes remote and hybrid work more collaborative. Mesh for Teams will enable new experiences through avatars. We keep talking about this. You're going to see more and more and hear more about it. But it also has AAD and M365 integration, and which is going to be important because there'll be support for PC, head-mounted displays, and companies will have a solution that they can quickly adopt and deploy at scale in a platform that will actually meet their needs for the future. Internally, we've seen consistent usage and signal of using voice-driven mesh avatars in 2D calls. Soon you will be able to build, create personalized avatars that with continuously growing set of wearables, and you'll feel more present and engaged in meetings rather than being on camera all day. I know for me, people make fun of me, but I create, 3 avatars and I change my clothes and hair and makeup based on how I'm feeling. And throughout the week, I'm always using these and I love it. It's a new way of having digital wardrobe. And I just feel like, oh my gosh, I just expanded my clothing in a different way and I get to experiment. So I love this, that you're going to see all of these cool capabilities coming soon. From pandemic to endemic, most of us have gotten used to all these Teams calls for the last few years. Now you're going to feel true immersion without the culture shock of VR or AR or wearing the headsets. We're easing the transition with Mesh for Teams, And users will be able to join meetings in 2D using their avatars that they can create and customize. These personalized avatars will provide a greater choice and flexibility to stay engaged when it's not possible or practical to be on camera. You can connect with new depth and dimension. I know for us, we have Friday avatar days and we all get on our avatars and see who's the creative, who's the most creative with it. Now, we're thinking more and more of how can you make these conversations more interactive. You're going to see more expression. You'll see moods. You're going to see emotes. That's going to really help imitate movements through these avatars with these motion models, with these AI-powered motion models. And for people who are willing to make the transition to VR, and I know many of you are big fans of AltSpace VR, and we're so grateful for that. We're right there for you. Microsoft Mesh will be enabled and available for headsets. And these are just tools that are going to help signal that we're all in the same virtual space, we're all on one team, and we're in a group, and it helps reduce a bit of the formality. We've seen in the last few months that these tools have accomplished both goals of being more effective and also being more engaged. Now, I know it's new, and I know there's so many skeptics out there, believe me, especially in the enterprise, but I can't tell you what a difference it's made for us when we're having meetings. And we're looking forward to your feedback. Now, as we think about experiencing things together and creating a common understanding, we can move through worlds and get relevant digital information. And when Mesh for Teams rolls out, we will have a set of pre-built immersive spaces to support a variety of contexts from meetings to social mixtures. And over time, organizations will also be able to create custom immersive spaces that resemble physical spaces and networking lounges to enhance camaraderie, spark creativity, and foster that serendipitous water cooler connection. Mesh immersive meetings in teams will become one of the many ways people communicate and collaborate in addition to these face-to-face meetings, chats, emails, and video calls. These immersive spaces within a Teams channel could serve to reinforce cohesion and common purpose. Technology like spatial audio will allow you to hear who is closer to you, just like the real world. And users can make these meetings and use these spaces with canvases like whiteboards, 3D content, or extend the M365 workflows. And we truly believe this is how we can make the technology break through from individual experiences to shared experiences. As you see here, immersive meetings are inclusive. Those joining from a PC get a complete view of the space. As users navigate around the immersive space, providing unhindered views of whiteboards and meeting interactions, presence is being able to see what others see. And immersive capabilities in Teams will enable these users to feel as if they are there in person. So I have this demo here, and there's no audio, but I really wanted to share it with you because, I think about the powerful reasons of having Teams. And today in Teams, you can dial in however it's most convenient for you, from your phone, your laptop, your desktop. We're simply going to add immersive meetings to desktop and VR experiences as additional modes. You'll get to participate however is most convenient for you and makes the most sense. And you don't need to create immersive meetings separate from Teams meetings. Every Teams meeting will have an immersive meeting option. We've pivoted to meeting people where they are today and helping them learn to leverage this immersive space. This is a natural way. I keep talking about this, but you will see this is the natural way to continue to expand on your investments in M365 and build upon your workflow. The possibilities are truly endless. Mesh in Microsoft Teams not only helps create work, hybrid work challenges and creates more opportunities, it's truly collaboration that transcends boundaries and keeps you in the flow of work. Now think about the opportunities. I talked about some use cases, but think about Mesh for Teams. These opportunities exist. They're here today, as you saw in the Satya video, and it's becoming mainstream, believe it or not. We imagine workers with colleagues from across the globe, just like today, but arriving at more informed decisions based on information sharing. Co-workers duplicating in-person learning without the time and cost of travel, thanks to holoportation, holographic sharing, and visualization. Team members and ideas and creativity truly flourishes as they participate in design reviews using several devices, whether you're physically present or holoported, or you're collaborating on content at the same time. And mesh powered, so when you bring mesh power into your workflows, innovation can happen in teams at a high scale, and you'll be able to really drive those engagement that you want. The possibilities, I will keep saying this, are endless. And not only, this is just the beginning. That's one of the key things I want to share with all of you. We keep talking about the metaverse, the hype, and you're going to continue to hear from Microsoft, Caruana, and all the teams here to talk about, our products and how you can leverage them in the real world. And we're going to need your help, with Microsoft Mesh as we roll out to our communities. It's going to be so important to get your feedback early on. Now, I'm going to share some opportunities with you. I know that Caruana also had a slide, but you can go to aka.ms.aad. I won't even say this link, but you can go there to learn more about Mesh. We have downloads for Microsoft Mesh for HoloLens in the App Store. You can join our developer program. You're going to start to see a lot more around Mesh. We're going to be engaging. We're going to have, Q&A sessions at Ignite. So we're really, really excited about this, and we hope you are too. And I wanted to leave the rest of the time, the next 10 minutes, really to answer questions that you may have, because I feel that, there's probably a lot of questions out there around when I know you're going to all ask when Mesh is going to be available to you. Believe me, it's coming. We are working every day so hard to get it out to you, make sure that it's available and ready and at the the quality that our customers and communities expect. So, I will be happy to share my deck with all of you. You have my information. Please connect with me on LinkedIn, with Twitter. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. So thank you for having me today. It's been such a pleasure. I look forward to so many more of these sessions, and please, let me know what types of questions that you have, and I will answer those to the best of my knowledge of what I can share before Ignite. So.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I have put a link into the feedback, so please do click that link and give feedback for the session or any of the sessions you've watched today. If there are questions, people should be able to raise their hand and I will unmute them. I can see Robert straight away. You're in there, so I will allow your microphone. So you should be able to ask your question now, Robert.
Okay, thanks, Paul, and thanks very much, Pouneh. Awesome, both you and Kariana. Really looking forward to this stuff. A question I asked Caruana earlier, and she answered part of it and said I should ask you the other part. It's around the topic of what we're developing in AltSpace VR today as far as worlds, as far as mixed reality extensions. Will that be transferable over to Teams, or do we have to to Mesh, or do we need to re-architect? And I have a follow-up after that.
Yes, no, absolutely. Great question. That is the number one question that we're getting from all of our customers right now, because we know there's heavily investment in AltSpace VR, and especially in the custom worlds. Our plan is to bring as much over as possible. We're working on a list to share publicly that will show you what's going to be transferable into the mesh worlds, right? In the mesh events worlds. And so as soon as I can get that, maybe if you guys can share your emails in this chat, what I can do is share the link on MS Docs that's going to be out there. But we will make sure, we know AltSpace VR is a metaverse in mesh, so it's going to be a part of it, and you will be able to bring your worlds over there. To the details of every item or feature set that we're going to bring over, we have a list that we've compiled for customers, so I can share that offline with you.
Super, great. And my other question is in regard to the Mesh demo app. I've gotten great feedback from my colleagues that they really enjoyed it on the HoloLens 2. Is there a possibility that it will be on the Quest 2?
Yes, it will be on the Quest 2 also. We are working towards that. You will start to get some announcements around that. We are doing a lot of testing, so it's exciting. Okay. Yes, that is definitely on the roadmap.
Super. Thank you very much. Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
No problem. We do have a question in the chat saying, what was the link to sign up to the preview? Don't know if that's a public link to sign up to the preview yet, or
yeah, I can put that up there for you. 1 second. Let me. Awesome. Yeah, we have, just so everybody knows, the reason we haven't rolled out to some of our TAP and MVP communities is, we built an early access program to have some of our other customers also give us feedback really early on, and we want to make sure that feedback and feature requests are truly incorporated into our product to deliver a good quality. I really would love to share the timelines with you, but you're gonna have to wait till Ignite, and keep your ears and eyes open if you're in the TAP programs and from the MVPs about what's coming. So you'll be hearing some news very shortly.
Amazing. Okay, I'm just looking through the chat. If anyone wants to raise their hand and ask a question, please do so. Just looking through the chat now. There was a question saying, what about Teams meetings? Will the avatars be visible there too to guests from other organizations and companies?
That's an excellent question. That's actually something that we're working on with the tenant admins, right? Because we know, even for us right now, we're, testing this internally, right? And we recommend that we don't share this externally. But what we're also doing is working with our IT admins to really create policies and feature sets where you can enable and disable avatars, right? One for, let's say you want to have it for guests or external so that people don't forget when they turn it on. And two, for, let's say you have compliance issues, not saying that you have to have compliance issues around avatars, but there may be some organizations, like we're working with our Geopol, we're working with our HR and our legal teams to come up with guidelines about when to use avatars, what's really appropriate, what's not, and just then providing the settings for our IT admins so that they can enable and disable. just like the quality that you expect from M365 on e-discovery and, audits, we need to make sure that same diligence is there for avatars and immersive meetings. And that's what we're really working on to get that out for all of you.
Brilliant, thank you. There was a bit of a follow-up to that question, which I think you answered anyway, but does it require mesh for all participants? So I'm guessing that feeds on from people needing to enable it, so then that comes through, yeah.
Yes, mesh will be enabled at the tenant level, and it will be up to your IT admin to enable it for all the users, right? So that's something that is going to be up to your company to enable, but we will be providing those features for tenant admins.
Brilliant. I don't know if there's any more questions. There's people popping their email addresses in there saying they'd like to know about the migration. So we've got a few emails to send there. I think that's it. Someone said, Benjamin said, if I wasn't excited enough about Ignite, I am now. So.
Just wait. It's going to be, we're going to have a massive watch party for all of us. And I think, it'll be fun to get everyone, this community together afterwards. I know Chris and Vesa, there's the UK summit that's coming up following Microsoft Ignite. There's going to be a lot of discussions about what we talked about, what's available, how you can get engaged. So, really, it's just weeks away. And I just can't even tell you how excited I am. I know Karen Awana is going to be leading a lot of the discussions. And it's amazing. I'm just, this is the time. We're here to get this out and get your feedback, and we really would love to engage with you more.
Amazing. Just before I go to, I think Robert, you've raised your hand again. Just before I go to you, I noticed there's a question saying, is there an additional license cost for mesh?
Excellent question. We are actually working through that right now. Initially, I think, please don't quote me. This is just hearsay. Honestly, there's been a lot of discussions about, is this part of the mesh license? Is this part of the, Teams license? Is there's an additional SKU for immersive meetings? We are still working through that. A lot of it depends on the feedback that you provide to us. Obviously, there's no charge right now as we're going through EAP, private preview, TAP, and we really want to get that feedback from the community. You will be able to use OCV, which is our one customer voice. That's going to be enabled in Mesh, in immersive meetings. When you go to Teams, when you report a problem or provide feedback, you're going to start to see immersive meetings and Mesh avatars in there. All of that information comes to my team, and we will be working with Caruana's team to really understand the user voice and help make the product awesome so that you guys can, get what you've been waiting for. But it's really, I can't stress that enough. And I know Caruana will probably stress that. Her team is huge in that.
Definitely. And just one other thing I wanted to mention to the audience, I put in the chat window the direct link to sign up for the broader community initiative that we're running right now. And that's where we're going to make announcements about the Metaverse community that will be coming online. We'll have all of these links that Pouneh is discussing, as well as the new opportunities for the early adopter programs, the training that we're designing for Mesh in the Metaverse. As Pouneh's team continues to build stuff, we will create the community and the programs around it so that everyone here in this event can get and stay engaged. So we won't leave anyone behind, and we'll be following up, as Pouneh mentioned, at Ignite, but then afterwards directly in that community initiative. So do join us there. Lots of awesome things happening in that community initiative broadly, and we're happy to support this new initiative with all of that work.
Yeah. I'm so excited, and I really wish I could show you my avatar. Next time.
Me too. I really wanted to come with my avatar. I have multiple outfits just like you, Pouneh. 100%.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure your collection's going to be bigger. I know. It's just one of those
What is
things, you
custom
guys.
jewelry? We tell them to make
Yes.
it so I can put custom jewelry on my avatar.
I know. We have these immersion days and give campaign that's coming up, and I'm like, I need digital swag. I need cool swag for give for my avatars. We need to do this. So it's just ways of using this technology and getting people really excited, especially where we're hybrid and we're really not in the same foundation. I mean, I can't express that enough. I go to the office a couple days a week. And then half the time I'm like, why did I come in? No one's here. I'm sitting in my office alone. I got to be home, but it's just, it's different. You go to the conference room, you have to make sure people are engaged. And the more that we interact and use these immersive meetings and avatars, we're seeing people engage, right? And the cool thing about the avatars is like, some people are worried a lot. I've talked to a lot of customers and they're like, really, for the enterprise? And, they're a little skeptical, which I understand. And they're like, well, why, they can just put an avatar and leave. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. Just like you can put a photo and leave. But what's interesting? Once you understand that avatars are voice driven and you can use reactions, and eventually we're going to have the webcam use your reactions, it's going to be so cool. And you will see when with your avatar, all the movements that happen. So if somebody leaves the room, they no longer can imitate or themselves or self-express, right? Because the audio is going to trigger that. So there are ways to really stay engaged, and it's fun to express yourself, in different ways. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. You just said a few magic words there. First, of course, the camera activated avatars are reactions. That's something I really wish, and lots of people have been asking about that. Is it going to happen? I thought, yeah, it should be, and now at least I can say yes, it will be. So coming from should to will, and the other one, of course, was the digital swag, and now you are going to NFT business. Creating NFTs, we can have MVP swag and the community swag. Oh yes.
Oh my gosh, that is next. Caruana, I've already been talking about this, and you guys are set for so many exciting things. I can't even tell you. This is going to be an amazing year, and all of you are so critical to this technology platform, and we value you so much. I can't say this enough. I mean, without you, Microsoft wouldn't be where it is, and your feedback, your support, your excitement around our technologies really help make our products better and just bring the communities to share this knowledge. So, we love you guys. We're excited, to be with all of you and share. And I'm just counting the days down to Ignite. It's going to be exciting.
It will be. You said it. Now we are waiting for the Ignite even more than we were before.
Watch parties.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, watch parties. And
Ignite is going to be fantastic.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying, Ignite is going to be fantastic, but there's one thing I wanted to mention to your audience. For those people who say, well, they can just turn on their avatar and leave, doesn't that mean that we should be having better organized, more compelling meetings and content?
Exactly.
Right? If somebody wants to leave my meeting, then maybe I'm not doing a very good job of running my meeting, or maybe my meeting should have been a post in Teams or a page in SharePoint or an email. I think it's really important. Satya has a wonderful slide about the 4 modes of synchronous and asynchronous work now that we're in this hybrid space, and getting good at all the different modes, when people are together, when people are apart, when you're doing it at the same time or a different time. This is where the work that Pouneh and team are doing can really help us increase the engagement level of employees and customers in these meetings. So if you have people who want to leave your meeting, it's probably not the tech. And it goes back to that people first strategy, right? So, I just wanted to put that out there to really be thinking about it, because we all had to learn how to be different presenters in this kind of way, right? Because when I went from speaking in front of 3,000 people to now only talking to my computer, it requires me to have different skills. You'll learn different skills as a meeting organizer and presenter in the metaverse as well. So it's just a continual journey. And, as Pouneh and I proved today, we're all still learning to get all our tools and toys and videos to work and what have you, and we'll learn together.
Yeah, and it's a fun learning experience, of course. But I have to say that I look forward to see Pouneh to present in the metaverse, because I've seen your energy on the stage at the ECS, so I will definitely want to see that on the virtual stage as well. And but we do have a possibility for that today, because we have the after party today in 15 minutes. HoloLux guys, Jed and Christian have been setting that up, and they are also pushing their limits. They are testing new things they haven't done at AltSpace VR before. So it's going to be interesting. Like, I got the last message from them, I don't know, less than 2 hours ago. It's still a work in progress, but they are getting there. so it's a great experiment all the way. And of course, we hope that many of you will join the after party, and we still have the other venue open until that, I think. I hope. And so it's been great to see people.
I got my
here.
headset.
Oh yeah.
Look at this. See, she's got all the cool toys. That's super cool.
Yeah.
I'm on the road, and I don't think that my MiFi device will do that. So I'm gonna opt down. But thank you so much for having us both. We appreciate all of that.
Yeah. Thank you, Caruana. Thank you, Pouneh, for being here. It was great seeing you both, and it was great, of course, seeing you live. But this is also awesome, and yeah, it's great having you in this.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, Dave. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.